Hello everyone, so welcome to the fourth video of the video series. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the decision making in Python programming. So assume that you are already aware of what's decision making and what if condition, what's if else, and what's if else, like these kind of conditions and their functionality. So we will simply see now how we can implement this decision making in Python programming, right? So in Python, simply we can make a decision using a if condition like this. So if, then we have to have the condition inside the parentheses, then colon. So colon actually marks the start of the decision making condition, right? So that's called the conditional code, right? So what you can see here now, when you are going to write something like this, okay, colon, and then so the if condition, and then the if keyword and the condition to be checked, and thereafter colon. So after the colon, what you will have is uh, you will have a automatically placed tab, right? So this tab simply gives you the indication of the body of the if condition, right? So whatever the thing that you are going to type here will be inside uh, uh, the if condition, right? So here, let's say b is greater than uh, a, right? And now once you once you end the if condition, right? So what you can see is once you end the if condition, that's actually done. If you like, whatever the thing that you are going to type here with the uh, tab, that will be taken as the if conditions body. It will be taken as a conditional code. Now let's say, for example, this condition is true, b is greater than a, right? So you have the condition b is greater than check. So we are checking that condition, and in this case it's actually not true, right? So what will happen, you can't see any output since the condition was not true. So if the condition is true, as mentioned here, what happens if the condition is true, the conditional code inside the body will be executed. So let me change it to 10 and 20. Now the condition is true. So for example, if the b is greater than a, you are asked to do this. Now we just print, so you can see. Now what I wanted to show you here is that for example, uh, whatever the thing that you are going to type, keeping a tab, will be taken as the body of that block. So this is a Python block. If condition is also a block. So if you are going to type something keeping a tab, so that will be taken as the body of that uh, block, right? So now for example, if you remove the tab and include it like this, okay, so this means that this print hello is outside the uh, if condition, right? And one important thing, that you can't do something like this, like you can't have this kind of mistakes and keep this kind of spaces, so it will give you an syntax error like this, right? So make sure that you are going to always follow the syntax. So very clean and clear code should be there when you are going to uh, implement Python codes, right? So anyway, now this is how we are going to check the condition. So what happens in Python when there's if condition always, so once if the condition is true, the conditional code will be executed, and the code will be the if condition like terminates, and if the condition is false, what happens, then nothing will be executed and the normal code will be executed. So this is kind of a gate. So if the condition is true, the gate will be opened. If the condition is false, the gate remain closed. So the conditional code won't be executed. So that's what simply happens in a if condition, right? So yeah. So now we have if and else, right? So if you have if and else blocks together in Python, so this is how we are going to implement it, right? For example, I have given an example here. But if you go to the syntax, this is how if condition works in Python. Now, not that I'm going to assume that you know what is decision making and what is if else and everything. So what I'm showing you here is how to implement these codes in Python. That's all, right? Okay. So I'm having that I'm assuming that you have the basic programming knowledge. Okay, so when you have if condition like this, what happens there? Simply, if this condition given here is true, right? So the conditional code inside the if code, if condition will be executed, and due to some case, if the condition is false, then the else code will be executed, right? So that's what happens simply. Now, note that if the condition given in the if condition is false, definitely the else will be executed, right? Definitely the else will be executed, right? Okay, so now for example we have a sample given here. So what we do is we ask amount from the use, and we take it and we pass it to the eval function, so you know what happens, and we take that amount here. And here, if that amount is less than 1000, we are declaring a discount from 5% of the given amount. So if the amount is less than 1000, we are defining a discount of 5% from the total amount. Then we print the discount as the discount, and then also else. That means what's else of this if condition, right? So simply, if this is false, that means amount will be always greater than 1000, right? So if that's the case, we take a discount like 10% from the amount and we print it. Finally, we print the net payable like amount minus discount. So if we run it for sample code, right? So now 500, if you enter this, you know that this condition is true. So in that case, what happened? This will be executed and you will see a discount of 5. So you will simply see 25% discount, and the net payable will be somewhere around 475, right? So since the if condition is true, now there is an important thing. If this if condition is true, then the if code will be executed, then like it will be terminated. No, it's not going to go to the else, right? So that's something obvious, right? But here now, simply what happens here, since this is true in this situation, this will be executed, right? And then this is executed. Net payable amount minus discount is executed, right? So let's see. Yeah, as we predicted, you are getting the output. Now, if we enter value greater than 1000, let's say 2000, now you can see this will be checked first always. So if this is false, now in this case it's false. So now what happens? Then definitely the else will be executed. So you are going to get 10% discount like 200. So the discount will be 200 and the amount will be somewhere like 1800, right? So let's see. And so what happens here after the else executed, this will be terminated and the normal code will be executed. The general code will be executed. So if you enter, yes, as we predicted, you are getting the output like this. So the other important thing is if, else, if, right? So else if actually declared in Python as elif, right? So if you have multiple condition to be checked, right? So then you will use this if and else if, elif conditions, right? So this is a very important thing to be remembered. Now, when you have this kind of a series of if and elif and else, note that there will be always a priority. I mean, priority in the sense always the first condition is checked, right? So this will be the condition to be checked first. So if this condition is true, what happens? This condition will be executed and that's it. No any other condition will be checked, right? No any other conditions will be checked. So then it terminates and go to the normal code, right? For due to some reason, if the condition is false, what happens now? Then only the second condition will be checked. So this second condition will be always checked if and only if the condition of the if condition, the first condition is false, right? Then only the second condition will be checked. So if it is correct, then this will be executed and the code will be terminated. And also, if that also not correct, then only the third condition to be checked, right? So third condition will be checked if and only if the condition number 2 and the condition number 1 are not true, right? So then if this is true, this will be executed, right? And the code will be terminated. And if that also not false, what happens? Definitely then the else will be executed. Now else we don't have a condition. If any other prior if or if condition is false, all the conditions are false, then definitely the else will be executed. So that's what happens, right? Okay, so simply now if we run this one, now here we have example where we are going to take the same input like the amount, and if the amount is less than 1,000, we provide the 5% discount, and if the amount is less than 5,000, now there's an important thing. Now, if this condition falls, then only this will be checked. So that means here we are checking if the amount is greater than 1,000 and less than 5,000, right? Understood? So then you have this kind of else, and where so this else will be executed if this and this are also false. Both of them are false. So in that case, that means if the amount is not less than 1,000 and not less than 5,000, then else. So simply it says if the amount is greater than 5,000, this should be executed, like 50% discount will be given. So if you check this one, so if we provide 5,000, 25% discount, 500, 25% discount, and let's say 2,000. So now in this case, this is false. Therefore, this will be checked, right? So we are checking whether it's less than 5,000. Yes, it's 5,000. Less than 5,000, so 10% discount will be given. Now in this case, if you enter like 10,000, right? So now this condition false, so then this will be checked. This is also false, definitely then the else will be checked, right? So 50% discount is available there. And the most important thing that you can have some other elifs, right? So you can have like, or if you want to have to check the value is greater than 3,000, right? So now this will be executed if the value is in between 1,000 and 3,000. So then 10%, right? So we can have like something like 17%. Likewise, also you can, right? So if you enter a value between like 2,500, now this is not correct, but this will be true. So 10% discount will be given, right? And for example, if you enter something like let's say 3,500, now this is false, this is also false, this will be true, then this will be executed, right? So 17% discount. Understood? So that's what simply how we are going to implement this. And I want to show you another thing, right? Another thing. Now, let me get the original thing back, right? So I will get the same code and I will remove the elif here, and I will make it a if, right? So now you have to understand the difference here, right? So now you can guess the answer here, right? Now the answer will be what, right? So answer will be 15% discount together. So you can see now this condition is also true, this condition is also true. Now if you have independent if conditions, like, so it's not like this. Now here we have a priority given and we have a order, like first this will be checked, and if this is not true, then only this is checked. But here not like that. If this condition will be checked separately and this condition will be checked separately. So if you enter like a value like 500, let's say, so you will get a 5, since this is true, 5% discount, and since this is also true, you are going to get another 5,000 discount, else won't be executed. So if you run this one, you will see, yeah, so 2 discounts are given, right? So finally 15% discount together. Now the important thing, identify the difference between if and else elif. So this is a single unit, right? So these 3 conditions are a single unit. Only one will be executed, and the first one will be checked first. If it is true, then that's all. If that is not true, then the second one will be checked. That's also not true, then the third one will be checked. But here, no, these are independent, right? So keep that things in mind, right? Otherwise, this will be like confusing, right? Okay, so yeah, so then we have the nested if statement. So if condition inside another if condition. So these are called nested if. But I will let this example to be checked by yourself, right? So you can check what happens here. So simply here, if condition is given inside the if condition. So what happens? If this if condition true, then again we have two if conditions. So then this is true, this will be checked. So in order to execute this one has to be true and this one has to be true, right? And if this to be executed, this one has to be true and this one has to be false. Likewise, the else will be the same, right? And as I mentioned, so these are blocks. If condition is also a block. So loops are also blocks, and Python functions are also blocks, and object-oriented programming classes are also blocks, right? So when you have a tab, right? So the start of the block is indicated by this colon, and then the tab actually defines the body of that block. Now, if this is a if condition, so the block will be simply given, I mean, declared by the codes that you are going to write by keeping a tab, right? So once you remove the tab, then it becomes a normal code, right? Okay, so right, so that's pretty much everything. And yeah, so here now what I want to show you now, these kind of things won't be allowed in Python, right? So we discussed about this earlier. And also other cases, now here, these two prints are inside the if condition, right? And this is outside the if condition, right? So whenever you are going to remove the tab, that terminates the block, that marks the end of the block, right? So the start of the block marked by this colon. Now block, what do you mean a block? We have several blocks in Python. If condition, I mean conditions, loops, functions, classes, everything. So all of them are blocks. So you will see blocks in every case. So anyway, the body of the block will be marked by the, I mean, defined by the codes that you are going to type by keeping a tab. No need to keep this tab manually. It will be kept automatically when you type this colon and press enter. And if you want to end the body of the block, then you have to remove the tab and type. So then it marks the end of that block, right? Okay, so here these two are inside the block and this is outside the block. So that's what I wanted to show. Okay, so thank you, and we will meet on the next video. And in this video, we don't have example, but together with the if conditions and loops, we will do example on the next tutorial. So thank you very much.